They say you can't stare into nothingness without feeling something stare back. But what if the nothingness had a body? What if it walked among us? As long as there have been small towns hidden away in America's valleys, forests, and dead-end roads, there have been sightings. They come in whispers, shape on the edge of the street lamp's glow. A pale silhouette across the field, figure standing too still outside a bedroom window. The hollow-eyed. That's what the locals call them. No one remembers the first story exactly. Some say it began in Cold Hollow, Vermont, in the late 1800s, when an entire family was found missing from their farmhouse. The only trace left behind was a single photograph nailed to the front door. In the photo, the family stood smiling, except none of them had eyes. Others insist the origin is even older, passed down from European settlers who carried the legend across the ocean. Night vessels, they called them. Shells that needed filling. And in every version, the same warning is spoken like a prayer. If you see the hollow-eyed, do not look back at them. Jared Lunt had lived his whole life in Pine Grove, a tired little town tucked between mountains. Pine Grove wasn't famous for anything except its disappearances. One every few years, like clockwork. A kid walking home from school, a man closing up the gas station late at night, a woman who left for work but never arrived. The sheriff always blamed the wilderness. Too many bears, too many rivers, too much distance between neighbors, but people whispered the truth. The hollow-eyed had taken them. Jared didn't believe in ghost stories, at least not until the night he saw one himself. It was late, and Pine Grove's only diner had just closed. Jared was heading home, the street quiet except for the buzzing of a flickering street lamp. And that's when he noticed a figure on the corner. Tall, thin, unmoving. The man, or whatever it was, stood under the glow, pale skin almost luminous. His face turned toward Jared, but there was no shine where eyes should be, just hollow pits of blackness. Jared froze, couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The hollow-eyed tilted its head, and Jared swore he heard something, not with his ears, but inside his skull like a dry, empty whisper. "You're alone too." Then it was gone. One blink, and the street was empty. Locked hurried home, locked his doors, and tried to forget. But when he sat on the edge of his bed, trembling, he noticed something on the nightstand. A small silver lighter. His father's lighter. The one that had gone missing years ago, the night his father vanished without a trace. Jared couldn't sleep. His father had disappeared when Jared was only 13. The sheriff had said it was a hunting accident. His mother had always avoided the subject. But the lighter, that damned lighter, meant something else. The hollow-eyed didn't just take people. They carried pieces of them afterward. And Jared wasn't alone in noticing this. Online forums whispered about the phenomenon. People across the country describing pale figures dressed in familiar clothes. A little girl in Indiana swore she saw a hollow-eyed wearing her brother's baseball cap, the same brother who vanished 2 summers earlier. A truck driver in Arizona swore one flagged him down at a desert rest stop, only for him to notice it was wearing the exact denim jacket his cousin had worn the night he disappeared. The hollow-eyed didn't just replace people, they wore them like trophies. And Jared realized something horrifying. His father wasn't just missing. His father was inside that thing. The sightings grew worse. First, Jared saw one outside his house at night, standing on the sidewalk, motionless. Then another across the street the next morning, visible through the blinds. They didn't move like people. They appeared and disappeared like jump cuts, always closer each time he looked. He tried to leave town. Packed a bag, got in his car, and drove until Pine Grove's lights were a memory. But when he stopped for gas 2 towns over, his stomach dropped. Across the lot, under the fluorescent lights, a hollow-eyed stood at the pump. Not staring at him, staring through him. And on its belt loop, dangling like a charm, was that silver lighter. Jared drove back home, shaking. He tried to tell his mother, but she wouldn't hear it. She said his father had left them long ago. That grief was making him see things. But the next night, when Jared returned home, he found his mother's wedding ring lying on the porch. She was gone too. The final words of Jared Lunt were found in a journal stuffed beneath his mattress. His neighbors hadn't seen him for weeks, and when police finally entered his house, the only thing left was this account. They came back. Not just one this time, 3 of them, standing in the yard like statues. Hollow faces turned toward my windows. And when I shut my eyes, I could still feel them inside me, pressing against the dark. I know now what they are. They are vessels, and they need to be filled. I heard them whisper again. They want me to look into them, to fall inside. That's how they take you. You don't vanish. You get poured into them, like water filling a cup. I can't sleep. I see my father's face inside those sockets, begging me to join him. But if I do, there will be nothing left. Just another hollow-eyed, walking the streets. If anyone finds this, don't look at them. Don't listen. And never, ever meet their eyes. The journal ended there. Jared was never found. But days later, a new hollow-eyed was reported in Pine Grove. It's taller than the rest, pale as milk. And on its belt, dangling like a keepsake, was a silver lighter. Since then, sightings of the hollow-eyed have spread beyond Pine Grove. Rural towns, forgotten highways, even cities. Always pale, always silent, always carrying something that belonged to someone no one ever saw again. They don't chase, they don't speak, they don't run, they just watch and wait. And if you ever find yourself walking alone at night and notice someone standing too still under a street lamp, don't look too closely, because if you do, you might see the nothing staring back.